Hey, how you doing? This is Seji Hito here to bring you some news and I guess we could just say some clips for today. Again, we have more internet videos. Let me just actually fix the number here. This is actually live stream number 50. So I actually have to fix that for both of the channels at this moment in time. And we are perfect. It is currently 2:29 p.m., 1/15/2024. So for today's video, we're going to look at three things. One of the first videos that you're going to look at, you're going to hear a very strong, independent woman, the woman that you see directly in front of you. It is titled, I'm a leader that wants a leader because I don't want to lead all the time. This woman who has obtained all the things that she wanted in life, right? Her finances are straight. I'm pretty sure she has the condo or apartment or home that she has. She has the car, she has the fashion, she got the shoes, she got the vacation. Her bank account is great, right? Now she stated she's a leader. But the only thing that eludes her is the ability to get the man of which she desires. So let's get directly into this.
Rejected by a matchmaker this week. You wouldn't be able to work with me. When we met, I told her what I was looking for and told her a lot about me. And I tried to highlight some of my core qualities, including the fact that I'm very, very type A, organized. I like to be the leader. I told her the types of things that I like doing. I also told her I was looking for a man who was also a leader because I don't want to always be the leader, believe it or not.
Now, I need somebody to explain that to me. How is it that you can be a strong, independent woman and you state that you are a leader, right? You are an alpha female, right? You've done everything that you've been able to do without the help of a man. Did it independently, right? Successful. Kudos to you. But then you turn around and you're stating to your matchmaker that, you know what? I am a leader. I am an alpha, but I need a guy that's a leader because I don't want to lead all the time, which means that she's stating that, hey, I'm backing off, but let me hear what your decisions are. I'm going to be critiquing. I'm going to be giving my input. I'm going to give my advice. So, again, this is a woman that is not going to really play the game the way that it should be played, right? Usually, when it deals with a relationship or a marriage, you have one person that is the leader, right? That's the person, no matter if it's good or bad, they're the ones that's going to make that decision, and they got to take the W and they got to take the L. The other person is, in a sense, in the passenger seat, and they're just enjoying the ride for good or for bad. Again, I've never seen in the history of my life a NBA coach, head NBA coach, sit up there and state that, yeah, I'm a coach, but I need somebody else there because I don't want to coach all the time. Nah, it's either you're going to be the head coach of this team or you're not. It's either one. It's not a maybe. It's either one. But let's continue.
I told her I was looking for someone that was at or above the same income level as me, driven, who is ambitious, who is ready for a long-term relationship and ready to get married. She may have actually picked up on the fact that I'm a little high strung. I'm not like a stressed out or anxious person. I'm just high energy or type A. This is who I am. And she was asking me, do I meditate? No. Do I journal? No. Do anything woo? And I said, no. I said, in fact, I'm not even on the same planet as woo. When talking about what I didn't like.
Now, I want y'all to pay attention. She's basically telling you that she is perfect the way that she is. She told you that she doesn't journal, she doesn't meditate. So there's no type of self-reflecting. There's no type of looking directly at myself and trying to figure out specifically what is my problem, what may be wrong with me, how can I fix myself or my energy, what specifically can I change to be a better person. She's telling you that automatically she feels that she is everything that everybody needs, and everybody needs to basically change around her in order to fit what it is that she wants or needs.
In a man, I said I could never really be with a beta type man. I specifically used the word doormat. I said I would chew them up and spit them out. And her response was, well, I married that type of man. She was saying that, men really like a soft woman and I should try some of these vision board, journaling, meditating type of things, would never going to be that type of person.
Okay, so she stated, so let me just reiterate to people if you don't know what um quote unquote a beta male is, right? Before the terminology beta male came about, the terminology that was originally used was nice guy. So I want everybody to understand how these things progress and how things that seem like they have a different meaning or a title are the same things. Whenever people talk about a beta male, they're talking about nice guys. So she's specifically telling you that I don't want a beta male slash a nice guy because I would walk all over them. They would pretty much just be my doormat. So again, she is stating that like how most women stay, oh, I want a nice guy, I want somebody that's sweet, I want somebody that's going to listen, I want somebody that's going to do this and do that. What women state versus their actions is two completely different things, because she'll say one thing, right, directly to the matchmaker, and then she'll speak her real mind in her voice, directly online, right? And then, she also wanted to state that there were a couple of other things that she wasn't going to do again, which she stated that, hey, journaling and meditating, I'm not that type of girl. Again, this is a person that feels that they are perfect in every which way possible. I don't need to sit up there and fix myself. It's the guys out there that need to do the work. They need to fix themselves so that they can be directly with me.
She also said that she could sense I had some walls up, which of course I'm coming to meet a woman who I'm asking to find my future husband at the rate of several $1,000s. I, of course, am going to be here really just trying to interview you, my dear friend, because I want to know if I'm going to get my money's worth with you. So, of course, I'm going to have some walls up.
So let's pay attention to that. She said that twice. She said that she is the type of woman that's going to have walls up. So not only is she going to have walls up with the matchmaker, and note, and this is another woman that is trying to help a woman who has everything. Find the one thing that she desires, right? That she wants. It's not, notice, it's not a need. She never stated that it's a necessity that she has a boyfriend, a husband, a fiance, all of these. Nope, she never stated that. These are just things that she wants. These are just ideals because it looks nice, because she sees everybody else with these things. So she want to try, this out, right? And again, this is something that she's not able to get by herself. And this is what I'm trying to show to a lot of women. You can state that you're independent. You can state that you don't need a man. You can do this. You can do everything for yourself, right? You can seemingly capture everything else in the world, but then it comes to the point where you want a relationship and you can't seem to capture that, which is quite weird. You can get the job, you can get the 100K a year, type of bank account. You can get all of the red bottoms. You can take all of the trips. You can do all of the things that you want to do. The one thing that you just can't seem to do, quote unquote, as a woman, is get the man that you so called desired. And again, this is a woman who stated that she has walls up. So if you got your walls up with the matchmaker who is there in your best interest that you're paying, then, and then you got the walls up with the guy, how do you expect to win? You got defenses up all over the board. The matchmaker can't get to you, can't get through to you. Your therapist can't get through to you. And then the men that you're quote unquote dating can't get through to you at all. You are the problem. This is why I try to tell a lot of women. But again, a lot of women don't want to pay attention. But let's just keep going.
It's perfectly normal to have some walls up when you are meeting someone for the very first time, and who also had not taken the time to do her own research on me by stalking me on the internet. She definitely didn't have time because she asked for my socials no more than 1 hour before our meeting. So I asked her if she thought I would be ready for her services. Her response, she essentially said that I am not ready for her type of services because I have too much work to do. My walls are too high and I'm not ready for a long-term committed relationship.
So I want you to pay attention. This woman, she's a matchmaker, right? So the woman that you're hearing now, she hired this female matchmaker in order to get her a guy, right? Because within 9 months, she stated that she wants to have a relationship, and then the end result is inevitably to get married, right? But this is something that she cannot obtain herself for whatever reason. I don't know what to tell you guys. This is the perfect woman right here. She should be able to get, if she's able to get the finances and everything else straight, she should be able to also get a guy. but obviously she can't. So she got to go to another woman in order to do that because she can't sit up there and do it herself as the woman that she is. So then the matchmaker finally told him, was like, you know what? I looked at your social media. I look at how it is that you speak. I look at how it is that you move. I look at everything else that you say about guys. And at this moment in time, it seems like you just have too much going on. Mentally, you just need to really sit down and just take your time and really work directly on yourself. This is a woman who does this for a living. And she's telling you, like, yo, you just need to relax. You need to meditate, get your feng shui in order, get your energy in order, and then you need to come right back to it. But you obviously see that she has a problem with the response. This is not what she paid for. She paid for somebody to tell her yes, to tell her that she is perfect, to tell her that it's just the other guys in the dating pool that are the problem. It has nothing to do with you. We're going to just try to match you up with some guys from somewhere else. Those are the things that she wants to hear. No woman wants to basically hear that the reason that they can't find a guy has to do with them. It has to do with their mentality. It has to do with their heart. It has to do with their criteria of which they are trying to measure a guy by, right? But let's continue.
At the ripe age of 38, where I've been in therapy for 10 plus years, she also said that she's too woo for me, which I can accept that. That's fine. However, I shouldn't need to be a woo type person to be worthy of love. She also said that I need to soften a little bit. And men like a softer woman. Essentially, I spent $350 to meet with this woman, have her tell me I am not worthy of love as I am, but the fact that I need to change in order to be worthy of love and partnership, which honestly, I think for that reason alone, she should have her matchmaking license taken away, because we shouldn't be pushing on these narratives that people are not worthy as they are.
Right there. So no, I want to reiterate. She just showed you a multitude of times within this little clip of the reason why it is that she cannot find the man of which she desires, why it is that she is not married, why it is that she is 38, about to be 40, and she is still single. Like I said, a lot of women need to sit up there and take note. A lot of women need to sit up there and pay attention. A lot of the times, you are the problem. You are the issue. Like this woman here, she has everything in the world that she could desire. The only thing that she cannot obtain by herself, by her own beauty, by her just being a leader that she is a man. The woman is trying to tell her, like, hey, you need to be softer. You need to go back and work on these things. You need to pull back. She's like, nuh-uh, no, I don't. No, I don't. What needs to happen is that these guys need to just accept me for who I am, and they need to just bow down in front of me. And when I tell them to lead, they lead. And when I tell them to back down, they back down. Like I said, this is the type of women that are out here. This is why I showcase these examples so that people don't think that I'm just out here just, oh, you're just woman bashing. You just hate women. Like I said, you got a woman basically giving you the clear-cut example of what it is that men have been stating for years. That when it deals with the dating market, women are the problem. It's them. They are setting themselves up for failure. Even when you got somebody that you hired for some hundreds of dollars, you hired them for your own best interest, and they're telling you stuff that you need to hear for your own best interest. You want to deny, you want to dismiss, and you want to walk around that, and you want to just stay how it is that you are. Like I said, this is why a lot of women are just going to stay lonely. This is why a lot of women ain't going to have kids. They're not going to have a happy relationship. They're going to be going to their best friends and other friends and coworkers and family members' weddings, and they're going to be sitting there sad, dateless. This is why. This is exactly why. This is why you're going to have a lot of women directly out here that are going to have a ridiculous toy collection of about 100. Like I said, that toy industry is $1 billion industry by itself. And it's not men that are driving that. It's women. So, like I said before, people better be paying attention. If you really want the things that you desire, if you really want things to work for you as a woman that you want them to work, or how you feel that they should work, you need to change yourself. You need to calm the fuck down. You need to tone a lot of shit down. Stop thinking in your mind that you're perfect because you done sat up there and led yourself, and that you done ascertained everything that you wanted to sit up there and get. Stop living in the fallacy of that you are perfect and that nothing needs to change. Everything on this planet changes. Everything. You are not some magical being that the universe created and just sat here and was like, you know what? It's undeniable. You're perfect and you need to do nothing to change. Everything around you needs to change in order to be in your world. No, that's not how that works. But a lot of women believe and live within that fallacy. Let's keep going.
And essentially telling women that the type of woman they are isn't worthy of love. That is a narrative that should not be given to anyone, or it is dangerous commentary. And the fact that she said this to my face had some audacity. Well, we're celebrating my 38th birthday tonight.
So let me just stop it right there. The audacity is you feeling that you don't need to change. The audacity is the fact that you don't want to take the advice of a woman that is actually trying to help you in your own best interest, because you are so delusional in thinking that you don't need to change. You think that there is nothing wrong with you. You literally sat up here and stated, first of all, you said that you're an alpha female, you're a leader, right? And you're up here complaining about how much it's costing you in order to get a dating coach or whatnot or whatever. That makes no sense. If you're an alpha female and you're making all of this money is no it's no object. It's not a complaint. That shouldn't even be the amount that you have to spend for something. It shouldn't even come out of your mouth. But like I said before, when women go on social media and state that they got all of this and they're making all of this money, that's one thing. But when you allow them to sit up there and talk, you start to see what it really is. How many rich people are how many billionaires you see complaining about spending $1,000 on something? You don't see them doing that. You got millionaires, multi-millionaires going out here to dating coaches, spending 25,000, grands or 25,000 trying to sit up there and match up with somebody. You don't hear them going online, sitting up there complaining about the prices. Why? Because they got the money. People who got the money ain't complaining. It's the people who fake and act like they got the money that don't really got it. So how alpha and how much of a leader are you actually if you're out here complaining about money? That's crazy to me. That's like the same thing that women state about guys. Like, oh, this guy told me he had the money, but we go out to dinner and we go shopping and I always hear him complaining and talking about the money. Just say that you don't really got it. And then we could just cut ways. So, right, like I said before, I'm about equality. If women are going to sit up there and judge a man on his pocket and complaining, he's complaining about money, the money that he worked for his whole life and did whatever he had to do, and that he's complaining about the spending, I'm going to sit up there and judge a woman the exact same way, who is posturing and putting herself in the role of being a leader, being an alpha, right? Like I said, it don't make no sense. It doesn't make any type of sense. And to be so delusional and dismissive of this advice, again, this is why a lot of women are single. This is why a lot of women are single. That mentality is toxic. It's not the fact that people are sitting up there telling you that you don't deserve love. No, you're toxic. That's why you don't deserve love. Nobody who is a loving person should be around a toxic person, because the only thing a toxic person is going to do and knows how to do is to corrupt that loving person and make that loving person into what it is that they are. And then they want to turn around and complain about that loving person becoming toxic and say, oh, this is why it didn't work, because you were toxic. You were never loving. I was the one doing this. I was the one doing that. But yet that person basically became exactly what it is that you mirrored, what it is that you're putting out into the universe. And you expected them to not adapt, to not somehow when they're in the exact same area to not take on some of those attributes. That's ridiculous. That's 1,000% ridiculous.
Right. And we are going to wash all of what she said aside. I am so excited. And we're going to believe that no matter the type of woman you are, love is out there for you. We are not going to listen to this toxic narrative.
No, it's not. I'm going to tell you what's out there for you. If you are a toxic woman and you don't want to change for any guy directly out here, the only thing that's out here for you is sex toys and pets. That's it. Just to be real, that's all you got. And that's all you're going to sit up and get. If you're a toxic woman and you know that you're toxic and you believe that you still deserve love, you're foolish and you're delusional and you're stupid. You don't deserve any type of love. No loving person needs to be around you at all. Better yet, you probably don't even need a cactus, because somehow, some way, your toxicness is going to kill that cactus. And it's pretty hard to actually kill a damn cactus. But somehow, some way, you'll find a way to do it. Like I said, this is the society. This is the world that we live in. And it's women like this who are going out on social media giving other women advice. And it's bad advice. So if you ever wonder why it is that you're single, number one, look at the people that you're around. Look at the other women that you take advice from. And then also look at yourself. Look at yourself. So let's go on to some of the other videos. Shout out to Lamiko, Gail, Ty, And Mo, what is going on? Much love, respect, and appreciation. And good afternoon to everybody else that is not talking and that is just sitting there, just cruising along. So now we're going to go to a different video of something that I didn't really think about at the moment in time, but this guy is going to explain it.
Tip on a great 3-course meal with good service, but for a cup of coffee, charge. And don't get me wrong, I'll be happy to tip on a great 3-course meal with good service, but for a cup of coffee, I typically don't tip. I don't know if this is just a Miami thing, but this is getting out of control. When I was in Italy over the summer, I had a 3-course meal, the best pizza, the best pasta, the best wine I've ever had. And when I went to pay the bill, the server brought the check to me and I just signed it and there was no line to tip. I was honestly confused because it was great service. I was happy to tip. So I go, hey man, how do I tip you? You did great. He goes, oh, we don't do tips here. We're in Italy. So you go from Italy where you can have the best service of your life and there's no tip to Miami where they pour you a cup of coffee and you are forced to tip or else you can't get your coffee. We're getting to a point now in America where people are going to ask for tips for grabbing you a water, for getting you a napkin, for holding the door for you. Like, aren't tips supposed to reward good service, not just be a requirement for ordering a coffee at a coffee shop? Like, what?
Now, let me just push back on the one thing, holding open the door. You have a lot of hotels where that is a service. That is literally a job. It's a person that's a door handler. They open and they hold the door. They also help you with your luggage. So that surface right there, because it requires, some physical labor, some manpower. Yeah. And they have to, no matter how they feel, they have to put on a bright, shining face, tell people, hey, how are you doing? See you later. Have a good day. They do all of these things. And it's a very thankless job. Like that one little bit that door handlers do, that's a lot. People don't even understand. In order to give that type of energy continuously, regardless of however that you feel or whatever your health is, that takes a lot of energy. Lot of energy, especially when you might not even have anything for yourself. But the thing I do agree with is that it's completely crazy. It shows you how backward society is, right? In America, they want you to basically tip for half-ass, right? And then not only do you basically tip that tip is also getting spread amongst other people who did not specifically service your table, which is completely crazy to me. I feel as though that if I am at a restaurant and I have a server or two servers and they're specifically, doing my table or whatnot. I mean, of course, they're managing other tables, but they're working, with my table and my party. They deserve to sit up there and get their whole tip. It makes no sense that a tip has to get split directly with the house. Much love and respect to like the bartenders out there. But all I'm sitting up there saying is if a bartender, right, does a great job, a college basically comes in, somebody has a bridal party, whatever it is, right? You got all these people that sit up there and just spend hours buying alcohol. That bartender is going to sit up there and get tips because they're serving all, 10, 15, 20, 30 of those people, even remembering drinks and even recommending drinks and getting those drinks out as expeditiously as possible, right? They deserve that whole tip. That tip, because some bartenders can sit up there and get upwards from $500 to $1,000. That tip should not be spread amongst everybody else who is not working at that bar. Like I said, the bartender's doing the heavy lifting and vice versa. If you got somebody who is waiting on a party or a group, 1 to 2 of the waiters doing that, nobody's ordering alcohol or anything like that. Everything is coming strictly from the kitchen. The people who are waiting on that table should be getting all of that money. It shouldn't be split with nobody else, including the manager. Manager shouldn't be getting a cut or a split of nothing. You're making more than everybody else directly out here. But then when you leave America and then you go to other countries, and then they got rules, like he said in Italy, the dude, he was like, yo, it was great service. I had a 3-course meal. Everything was great. Everything was on time. I didn't have any problem. I didn't have to send nothing back. And yo, how do I tip you? He was like, yo, this is Italy. We don't tip out here. It blows your mind. It makes you feel so stupid. It's like, so what have I been doing in America? It's like we're so programmed in America to do certain things that we're in shock when we're thrown into somebody else's culture. And it's like, this is not even a thing here. They have the same thing in Asian countries as well. It's looked down upon if you actually tip them. They will literally tell you and bow like, no, that's okay. That's okay. Because that's their culture. That's what they do. In America, it's like, yeah, you tip for everything. So if you go to Starbucks and somebody makes you a coffee, the coffee might be $9 to $15 to $20, depending on what you got, on top of the fact that they want you to sit up there and tip. How does that work? Shouldn't you be taking their tip directly out of that coffee? Out of how much money that you basically make? And let me just get up some Starbucks numbers at a moment in time. Let me see. I did this earlier. Yeah. how much does Starbucks make a year? And it states that Starbucks revenue is 32.3 billion a year. So you mean to tell me that you need me to actually tip? Y'all pulling in 32.3 billion a year. Y'all can pull out some millions, or y'all can pull out $1 billion from that and give some tips directly to those people. Y'all can do that, but they don't want to do that. Like I said, this is how corporations work. So remember, you're buying a coffee from Starbucks. It's like $9 to $15 to $20, depending on what you're getting and how it's done. And then they still want you to tip. But mind you, they're sitting up here making 32.3 billion a year. Yeah. Yeah. Tipping is that's something else. That is clear cut something else. So now we're going to go to this side directly over here. Let me just post this directly for you guys. Swap screens, right? So now we're on Twitter, right? And again, you've heard me state on this platform and other platforms how it is that, you know, Black people's culture is innocent stolen, how it is that people try to masquerade and, you know, black fishing and all of these things that transpire and take place, right? This is not the case. So you got this woman here by the name of Tiffany. This is her Twitter, so you can go and interact and whatnot or whatever, right? She basically posted on social media. Let me just go to her clip, right? So this is her, right? She's showing you how she looks. She's showing you the spandex, you know, the front and the back. She's showing you the shirt, showing you the hair, you know, doing all of that, right? Just sitting up there showing, right? And this is what she cooked, right? Nothing wrong with what it is that she cooked. Everything looks great directly on this plate. It looks fresh. Nothing wrong, right? And then she also showcased the playlist of music, right? Michael Jackson, Tyrese, Sweet Lady, Keith Sweat, Donnell Jones, Jaheim, Troop, Escape, Genuine, Joe, SWV, right? Got a lot of songs directly up there. Pretty good playlist. No problem, right? So this post by itself, as you can clearly see where my mouse is, 12.1 million views, right? I, of course, bookmarked it as well. 4.1K bookmarks, 10K likes, 3.5K retweets, 886 comments, right? So we start going directly through the comments, right? And you see, you know, some very positive comments, right? She responded back to some of the comments. He was like, "You got some hot sauce?" She was like, "Of course." In the batter and to top it off, right? So she also got sauce in the batter on top of, you could put it directly on the side, right? You had another woman here that basically said, "The plate looks fire. I want a plate." She basically said, you know, "Thank you." Probably got some other comments down here. Another person said, "Me and somebody else is finna be at Atlanta later this year. We'll hit you up, you know, for a plate," you know, stuff like that. Another person is just basically laughing. And she was like, she responded, she was like, "Yeah, they're coming for me and it's kind of fun," right? And what she's talking about is that she's getting negative comments underneath her post because you have women here basically stating that she is black fishing. But we'll get to that a little bit later. Another person said, "Fried catfish slays my life every time. Did you add Cajun seasoning and Crystal's hot sauce? I hope." She said, "I used Chesapeake Bay seasoning, Lawry's garlic, onion, peppers, and Texas Pete's," right? Another person said, "You ate that," right? This is another woman, right? Said you ate that. No problem. Another person said, "Can you please put all of the hair back? You're a hazard," right? Talking about the hair, you know, being directly in the kitchen. She responded, "My hair was up during the cooking. This video was after the food," right? Another woman said, "My kind of playlist. I love to see it." She said, "Amazing," right? And then you got this comment here. This woman said, "You didn't make Asian food, question mark. Why are you baiting black men with this dry ass plate?" Right? So then she responded back very nicely. She said, "Hey, darling, I cook what my man likes to eat. But on the media, you can see I also make miso salmon, Korean barbecue, tikka masala, adobo chicken, along with Mediterranean food and Hispanic food." Then the person replied, "So what I need to make to get me an Asian man?" I'm taking notes. What what are we doing here? So, and I want y'all to understand, like, I went through a little bit of her social media. I don't know what she is in Atlanta, but I don't know what her guy specifically looks like, right? And again, I want to reiterate, she cooks food from all around. Let me just do this because I don't want people to get this mixed up. Right? So let me go directly to media and I want to show you, right? So this is the plate that we all saw, right? That this would be considered the black plate, right? So now, right, you saw all of the comments dealing with the black plate, right? So let's look at this plate, right? This is let me see if I can expand this just a little bit so we can get the side. Hold on, give me a second. All right. Right. She said, I made a Greek gyro bowl and thought, why not? Let's make some baklava, right? This is Mediterranean. This is clearly a whole nother culture, right? So as I stated before, I'm expecting the same energy that was delivered for the quote unquote black food, the black plate. I was expecting that same energy everywhere else. I look through here. I don't see that same energy. Why is that? Why don't I see Greek women coming underneath this comment section basically talking about, oh, why didn't you sit up there and cook food of your culture? Why are you sitting up there cooking our food? Why are you doing this type of entrapment or black fishing, right? So I'm like, all right, maybe I was just a throw off. Let's go to another one, right? Made beef stew for dinner, cinnamon rolls from scratch. This will be, I guess, considered American. I don't see a lot of Americans directly under here giving that exact same energy for the black plate. A little bit odd. I'm like, let me continue. No problem. She said, made chicken and steak hibachi with yum yum sauce drizzled on top with, of course, fried rice. So this would be Asian, correct? Where's all that heat? Where's all that same energy for the quote unquote black plate? I'm still not seeing it. I was like, you know what? Maybe people still ain't seeing it. No problem. Let's keep going. So now we go into like Thanksgiving, right? So this is looking like some turkey legs here, something like that. Because I don't think that's chicken. That's a little bit too large. You got the cornbread and the iron. You got black eyed peas with some ham directly in there. You got the baked macaroni and cheese. You got the deviled eggs with some seasoning on there. You got the yams and you got the greens. And no comments under this one. I'm like, this is a little bit weird to me. I'm like, people were saying that why isn't she cooking other types of food, right? And then you see the plate directly right there. It looks nice. Everything is separated. Looks completely fine and dandy. So then we keep going down. So she said, I made baby back ribs, cooked low for 4 hours for tenderness, cheddar broccoli, mashed potatoes, zucchini medley. I guess you could consider that American food. I'm not seeing that same energy directly underneath the comment section. Just keep going. Keep going. She said tonight was chicken tikka masala with Guyanese roti. So we got tiki masala and we got some Guyanese add-in right there. That's two different cultures. So we should really sit up there and see that same energy. I don't see nothing. You got a woman down here saying, what slide the rotiti recipe, please? Did you make that from scratch? I'm a little bit confused. I'm a little bit confused. She literally proved that she is able to cook. It is directly on her social media. But yet you got women up here trying to say like, oh, I see and I spot what it is that you're trying to do. It's crazy. Why don't you sit up there and make the food directly from your culture? She lives in Atlanta. So because she is Asian, she has to specifically only make Asian food? That makes no type of sense. And then again, like looking at this woman, you're talking all of this mess, but then you're asking her, yo, teach me how to make some Asian food so I can basically get me an Asian man. What we doing? I thought you were trying to call her out for trying to ensnare and attract black men. Because again, I don't know what her guy looks like. I don't know what her guy looks like. Again, it's a little bit crazy and it's a little bit weird. A little bit crazy and weird. Right? And again, you can keep going through and you got a dude up here. She was like, yo, where did you get that tea from? Said Etsy. Right? And then I like this comment specifically because it proved a point. Right? The dude basically said a lot of black women on Twitter all day having imaginary one-sided beefs with non-black women over black men that they spend 90% of the time claiming that they do not want. So let me just reiterate this to a lot of people here. If you go on Twitter right now and you happen to look at some black women, whatnot, or whatever, you'll start to go through their Twitter if they got it open, because some of them are real slick. They'll leave messages and state whatever it is that they want to state, but they'll make sure to have their Twitter private or however they decide to do it. A lot of them have a unique fascination with guys who are not black, but then they want to turn around and talk about black men liking other women that are not black, even though those same women who dislike black women, who dislike black men, who loathe black men, are interested in something completely different, right? And then the person said, what black women have a beef? Most of the women are praising her, right? And then he sat up there and brought receipts. He started showing posts, right? So you got the one person that sat up there and stated what she stated. You didn't make Asian food. Why are you baiting black men with this dry ass plate, right? Another person sitting up here basically saying that the Asian woman is doing a mating call to black men, right? Next one said, whatever happened to a simple egg roll recipe? Again, if she's living in Atlanta, she's surrounded by black food, black culture, this is what she eats, whatnot, or whatever. Why does she only have to fix Asian food? That doesn't make any sense. Now, just imagine if somebody said that in reverse to black people. Like, oh, I like, sushi, right? And just imagine if I did a video making sushi and somebody came along like, why are you making sushi? You're black. You should be making soul food. Do you understand how black people would perceive that and say that? Because it's stupid. And then you got another one underneath there laughing, right? Another woman, dry ass plate. Another one, the collard greens are juiceless, right? Another woman, the turning around to bounce the hair makes it even more of a blackmail mating call. This is my thing. If the woman that we're speaking on, right? All of these women, again, I'm showing you live in 4K. This is Twitter. This is me literally on Twitter. You can go directly to her Twitter and see what it is that is being stated live in 4K. If the woman that we see right here decides that she wants to cook however it is that she wants to cook, she has the right to sit up there and do that. Nobody can pigeonhole her and tell her like only cook of your culture, only eat of your. That makes no sense. And then the craziest part is, again, a lot of these women sitting up there complaining, can you even cook? Last time I checked on social media, a lot of women are sitting up there saying, I ain't cooking for no man. I ain't doing this for no man. I ain't fixing no plate. All these other types of things. And I'm like, well, this is why you're single. Because if you're not willing to actually cook, because the main thing that people will sit up there and tell you, the way to a man's heart is what? Through his stomach. If you as a woman are able to cook, you're going to get many of men from all over that are going to want to be directly by you. That's going to want to be in a relationship and even potentially turn you into a fiance and a wife. If you are a woman that knows how to cook, it will happen. But all I'm seeing is a lot of women that's complaining that can't cook. Because if you really feel that she's competition, then start competing. Get up here on social media and show men, show the world how it is that you're able to cook. She's doing it. You don't see her sitting up there complaining and yada, 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 going underneath their comment sections telling them that they need to do this and they need to do that. Nah, she's just doing what it is that she do. Like I said, those that can will. Those that can't will get on Twitter and complain. Right? So then you basically keep going through the comment section, right? One person said, my God, can y'all just leave us alone? Always want to negatively compare us to other demographics. Just stop. Right? So then we just keep going. Keep going. And then we come down to this. This person was like, the fact that all of the men under the tweet have a certain look is the reason why nobody wants y'all and white women settle. Okay, so you're stating that every black man in the comment section that is leaving a comment has a certain type of look. What look would that be? Are you saying that they're undesirable? Are you saying that you don't find them attractive? Are you looking at them, engaging them as a dusty or brokey? Like what specific look are you talking about? Because it's a lot of jealousy going on here. It's a lot of envy taking place with the women that I'm showcasing directly to y'all in 4K. It's ridiculous because at first it started off with attacking her and attacking the one dish. Now, no, I showed y'all several dishes from a multitude of different cultures all around the world of which she cooks. But you don't see those women going directly underneath her tweet and running a damn mouth. So it went from that to now you want to start talking shit about black men. And then you want to bring white women into this. What? How do we get here? How do we get here? How do we get here? Again, where in the comment section of any of the tweets did we see black men in droves coming out negatively shit talking and talking a whole bunch of hellacious shit and irresponsible shit about black women? I didn't see it. I didn't see it. There was only one dude that highlighted something, and it was this man right here. A lot of black women be on Twitter all day having imaginary one-sided beefs with non-black women over black men that they spend 90% of their time claiming that they don't want. And that's facts. He didn't state something that was salacious. He didn't demean black women. He didn't call them out of their names. He stated a fact, and I'm showcasing this fact to you because it's nonsensical and it's ridiculous. You got women in the comment section literally having an issue, causing a problem with the woman. She's not even focused on them, but they made her the focus. So instead of them trying to go out there and seek out the quote unquote men that they want, they're coming directly underneath her post. They're talking negatively towards her. They're trying to tear her down. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Like I said, maybe I'm incorrect. I could just very easily be incorrect. Maybe, I'm just hallucinating. Maybe I'm just seeing things. Right? Again, even the tweets that were captured, that when I go through here, I can't seem to exactly find those, but it is what it is. Because like I told y'all before, whenever people get found out, they like to sit up there and delete their tweets and the evidence. Had to go past that Ving Rhames post real quick. Had to go past that real quick. Right? You got another person said best thirst trap ever. Right? Like I said, it's crazy that you got people that want to sit up there and state a lot of these negative things, right? You got one person that says she's so pretty and I checked her page. Her food looks good. She can really cook. I get people was making jokes like, okay, but now dudes taking it too far, being anti-black and shaming black women. It's not cool. Again, we're rolling through the comments and the main comments that I'm looking at, I'm not sitting up there seeing black dudes rolling up and just shaming black women, talking negatively about black women. That's not what I am seeing at this moment in time. It is not at all. Right? Other person said it looks so delicious. Drop a link to the playlist. A diverse diet and balanced diet is essential for health. Playlist vibes. Needs that shirt. I need a plate. And I don't even eat catfish. Like I said, getting a lot of positive comments, right? Because, and then you got other people trying to say that she's more than likely the same as the other Asian woman that we saw. And again, I made a video specifically about her because you saw specifically what it was. She was just completely acting directly out of the way. Even her own people came out and called her out. I think I got that video either on here or it might be on IG. But again, this is not the case that we're dealing with. We're dealing with the fact that you got a woman here who is Asian that is cooking. She lives in Atlanta. And again, I don't know specifically what it is that her boyfriend is. I can theorize. I can sit up there and guess. I can sit up there and assume. But again, I don't specifically know, what it is. There was another comment directly in here. I'm going to see if I might be able to find it. I'm going to see. Let me see if I can actually find it while I'm on screen directly with you guys. Right? Let me see if it was under this one here. Let me see. Let's see if I can find it. Yes, this one right here. So let's take a look. So you got this one here, right? The Kettle Black Talk Show, right? So we can clear cut see who the person is. She said, I'm half black and Asian. Take note. I don't want black American men either. Y'all have jacked up the lives of so many Asian women and the kids overseas that there will come a time where they will feel the same way as black women. Who wants to be ninja baited by anyone. Look at these black men's comments too. So again, this is somebody who wanted to come out the woodworks and state that, hey, I'm basically a black woman, half, and then I'm also Asian. But let me not so much speak on the black side. Let me just take up for Asian women directly, real quick, while also, in a sense, highlighting and talking negatively about you. So she started mentioning the overseas kids as if black men are just going, that as if the whole population of black men in America, we're just all going overseas and creating illegitimate kids, and we're just leaving all of them fatherless. We're leaving all of them, just in a single parent household, as if this is just what all black men in America are going over there doing. And then you want to sit up there and generalize and state that, is going to come a point in time where all of those kids that y'all created, they're going to sit up there and look at black men the same way that black women see you. Notice how she generalized that, right? She generalized all black men, and she also generalized black women, stating that all black women feel this exact same way that she feels about black men. Again, I'm showcasing to you what it is that I see on social media. It doesn't matter if it's a podcast, if it's a tweet, if it's IG, if it's YouTube. These are the things that not only I see, but other black men see these things as well. So again, when I talk about certain things, I'm going to sit up there and show you proof, so it is undeniable of what it is that I speak on, right? And then she said, who wants to be ninja baited by anyone? Look at the black men's comments. The black men were leaving very positive comments. Like this dude underneath said, he was like, Lamo, nobody cares about you. You aren't even supposed to be on the conversation since it has nothing to do with you. Bro think he's involved. And that's facts. Like, you're literally trying to make something about yourself and it has nothing to do with you. But also, let me just further go to another point to in a sense show something here, right? So again, she says she's black and Asian. She has a channel. This is one of the tweets that she made, and it dealt with Jonathan Majors. She was like, just curious, but did you talk about his severe depression diagnosis that he disclosed in an interview where some of his symptoms are anger, aggression, mood swings, and etc.? These are the behaviors that Jabari witnessed in several incidences she talked about in her testimony. So you see what it is. This is a black Asian woman who wants to generalize and talk negatively about black American men, doesn't like them, doesn't want them, loathes them. And then she furthers this by talking negatively about a black man by the name of Jonathan Majors and siding with his ex-girlfriend that got him tied up in the situation that he's in at this moment in time. Like I said, the stuff that I talk about and that other men talk about, we're not lying. You're seeing this in real time. This is not making this up. This is not AI. This is not Photoshop. So, like I told people before, when it deals with black men being directly out here, it's just a lose-lose situation. It don't matter what it is that you do. You're just going to be losing. And you're going to have them directly out here talking negatively, specifically about you. Like I said, it's crazy. You're siding with the woman that got this dude tied up. And I want to reiterate, he got charged on the fact that her finger got injured. Do people even realize that? But I guess people don't care because they're like, oh, well, that's what you get for being with a woman that don't look like you. I'm like, that's crazy. That's like me sitting up there going back to Chad Wheeler, who was on the Seahawks, and he beat the brakes off of that black woman, beat the brakes. He beat the living life out of that woman. And he sat there and ate a sandwich while her body laid there lifeless. And she woke up, and the first things out of Chad Wheeler's mouth, he was like, oh, I didn't expect you to still be alive. Woo! But do you see her doing a think piece about Chad Wheeler, who was a big, brolic, Herculean Caucasian dude? Nope. Do you see her talking about a case or a trial? Nope. Do you see her speaking up for that black woman and trying to get justice for her? Nope. So again, like I said, I don't make anything up. This has nothing to do with sitting up there hating a certain type of woman or a specific woman. I'm showing y'all exactly what it is in 4K. In 4K, I'm showing you exactly what it is. Like I said, you can't make none of this up. Can't make none of this up. It's ridiculous. You're literally making issues with the woman who is showing you that she knows how to cook. So instead of actually getting online and showcasing your cooking skills, you decide to sit up there and start talking shit because you can't cook. Ain't that about something? Ain't that about something? This is ridiculous. This is 100% ridiculous. Let me go back through here real quick. Miss Callahan, what is up? What is up? What is up? Lamiko, what is going on? What is happening? Pink, what is up? Ollie, what is up? Ren Wilson, PA, what is happening? What is happening? You said, let me go through some of the comments. Let me see. Miss Callahan said, nothing wrong so far. Snow Bunny that can cook. Lamiko said, Seji, part of the reason these companies in America want everyone to tip their employees is because they are making record profits hand over fist. That is America. That's facts. Ms. Callahan said she needs to stop entertaining the trolls. Black folks love drama. What's more crazy is the same black women will talk shit on black men all day online every day. Yeah. Yeah. And it's crazy. It is complete. Like I said, this is why I like, in a sense, doing live streams, and I like doing the stuff, in 4K. Like I said, the moment you see me completely scrolling directly on Twitter is getting captured, you can go to Twitter and see all of this for yourself. It is directly still up there. Again, some of the comments that were captured, you can see some of those, right? Got some more comments. Whatever happened to a simple egg roll recipe, dry ass plate. And again, I promise you, a lot of these women that's sitting up here making these comments, they can't cook. They can't cook. They think or swear that they can, but they really can't. And then these be the same women who talk about, I'm not cooking for no man. But let me just reiterate that. When they state that they're not going to cook for a man, I have to be very specific. They're not going to cook for a black man. They'll sit up there and become, Wally Cleaver's mom, or I Dream of Jeannie, and all this other type of stuff for men of other nationalities and races. They'll do that for all those other men. When it specifically entails and deals with black men, it's specifically a rule. I'm not cooking for them. They can do it themselves. Black women have had to cook for centuries. Black men can sit up. It's all of that type of stuff. They'll be like, that's a part of, that's the misogyny, that's the patriarchy. Why is it that, women always got to specifically? But I'm like, you're talking about that you want a man. You're talking about that you want a boyfriend. You're talking about you want a fiance. You're talking about you want a husband. You're talking about because this woman is able to cook, you now deem and see her as competition. So now you feel threatened. But yet, what are you threatened by? Because you got women in the comment section talking about black women in America don't want black men. They don't want to be with them. They're not trying to get engaged or married. So what competition is she really taking from you? What competition really is there if y'all not even competing for the same types of guys? Like I said, I'm a little bit confused. I'm a little bit confused. Ollie said the white hairline is insane. She needs to stay by herself. Oh, you talking about the other lady. Ren said, I've been in the military and white men abandon their children overseas the most. You can't tell nobody nothing. It is, like I said, it is what it is. The greater majority of the military is not black, and it is what it is. People, go over and do whatever it is that they do unprotected, and that's how it is. But if you want to go by stats, black men are going to be the poster childs for everything that has to do with stuff that is negative. That's just the way that it works. And I've come to that understanding, and I'm completely fine with it. It's whatever. Like I said, for me, I'm tired of fighting, trying to fight a lot of these narratives. I'm like, whatever you believe that black men are just like negative, fine, so be it. I'm negative. I'm a criminal. I'm this, I'm that. All right, next. So what we talking about? Let's just get all that out the way. Everything that you say I'm negative, I'm that. So let's keep going. What's the real issue? What's the real conversation now? Because once you move past all of that stuff, you basically say, as a black dude, like, all right, I admit all that. You fine. You saying I'm everything negative? Fine, no problem. So what's the real conversation now? That takes the steam directly out of the conversation. All of that energy and all of that is now deflated. Because when they state that you are negative or you're this thing, they're expecting a fight. They're all amped up. So then when they don't get that energy, they don't get that fight. Now it's like, this is boring. I'm done with this conversation. Like I said, it's crazy. It's some goofy type of madness, right? PA said, why do these people believe that their third world options matter? Also said that she's just jealous because no one wants a such and such and such. Actually, I'm a little bit confused. Now you just trolling. You were just completely trolling directly up here, looking at all of these comments. I'm like, that's crazy. Because let me go back. Because like I said, I don't know who you are, but obviously we just so happen to have trolls directly up here. So let's just showcase this. Right? You saying that she's jealous, but she's able to cook. She probably cleans as well. And on top of that, she cooks food from all over the world. I'm not sure if you're in that same boat if you're able to cook, but it is what it is. Like I said, those who can do, those who can't start talking shit directly on social media, and here we are. You said third world opinion. I'm not sure if you're looking at this moment in time. She is in Atlanta. She lives there. That is where she resides. She's not in any type of country that you want to consider third world. Now, if you want to talk about America being third world, we can do that. We can have that conversation because, to my knowledge, you got a lot of other countries out here that are poorer than America and they got clean water. But you got states in the United States that don't have clean water. So if you want to talk about a third world and you want to talk about some problems, we can sit up there and do that. But I'm pretty sure you're not trying to do that. Zaire said, wait. Zaire said, hey, oh, what's up, Zaire? What's going on? You said, hey, you're going to laugh at me for this. You said that there is a Caucasian girl at school who is in love with me because because you gave her a stuffed Pikachu toy. Now you already know what I'm going to say. I'm going to tell you this. You saw me cover stories about Jonathan Majors. I done covered stories about a multitude of other black dudes out here. You know, there are a lot of traps. There are a lot of pitfalls specifically out here. You might have did something nice specifically for this person. I'm just going to sit up there and tell you to be very, very wary and conscious of every single thing that goes on in society. Because it was about 2 years ago that it was a black dude at who goes, I think he's in college, and he basically kissed a girl. He literally, all he did was just kiss her. Nothing else happened. And he's facing criminal charges. I think he's actually locked up in prison. I think he's actually doing a sentence at this moment in time. So that's all I'm going to sit up and tell you. Like, yo, you better be very careful. Because the moment in time, that they happen to get mad or feel a certain type of way or slanted, or that you might be, doing something nice for another girl. Oh, it's going to be a problem. You're going to see rage and anger and stuff like you've never seen before. The best thing I can sit up here and do is just tell you, sit up there and don't move anything past that. You did something nice for her. That's it. Like I said, this is coming from a brother who loves you a lot. You've been on this channel for a very long time, and I'm going to give you the best advice that I can sit up there and give you, because I want you to be safe and sound. And again, as I've stated in previous live streams, I never want to have to do a story about any of you guys here. So again, you're young, you're very young, right? Still in your teens. Stay focused. The main thing I told you before: don't be focused out here on these girls. Don't be, slipping and falling. If you want to do something nice to somebody, that's cool, whatever. And just keep it moving. Don't feed too much into that. Don't gravitate highly towards that. Don't do that. Do not do it. Like I said, the main thing that you got to sit up there and do as a young black guy out here, stay focused on your business. Stay focused on getting your money. Stay focused on bank accounts. Stay focused on your dreams. Stay focused on aspirations. Stay focused on being the best you that you can be. That is your focus. Because the moment in time that you start focusing on these little girls directly out here, it's over. It's going to be a straight setup. You're going to get caught up in something that you might not be able to come back from. So again, like I said, Zaire, I'm saying this with all the love that I have, every fiber of my being. Just leave it exactly where it is, and that's it. If she tries to sit up there and be like holding hands and all, don't sit up there and do it. Don't do it. Like I said, I want you to be safe. We're living in a society where people already had the Me Too movement and the Time Is Up movement. We're living in a society that anything that a guy, in a sense, does can be deemed as SA. It can be deemed as harassment. It can be deemed as unwarranted. And like I said, there's a lot of things that even away from the situation of that girl being Caucasian, just women in general can set you up and can ruin your life literally while living all the way around the world. They can literally pin and blame you and say that you did something to them and you never even seen or been around them. So, I'm just, hey, just be safe. That's all I realistically want you to sit up there and do. I want you to be safe. I want you to just be safe. Like I said, and I'm going to tell you that more than likely some people would get offended by what it is that I'm saying. I'm just speaking on the things that, again, I have been able to witness because I knew a guy previously where, his significant other was Caucasian, and it didn't end up, that good. There was a multitude of things, that were there. I know some other people as well where their situations were not how they were supposed to be. I told you about family who was married to a Caucasian male, and the mother of the Caucasian male did not accept my family member for years, up until the kids were born and the kids came out, and then she started to soften up and she wanted to now be this, this type of person, whatever. Like I said, I could look at this both situations and point this both towards black men and black women. But it is what it is. But I will tell you this, Zaire, at the end of the day, irregardless of whatever it is that I state, how I state it, and the reasons why I state it, you have to make and come to the conclusion for yourself. If you feel that she doesn't mean you any type of harm, that nothing negative is going to happen, only you can determine that. I can't, live your life. I can't, directly just pinpoint, move it like a chess piece for you. You got to be the one to sit up there and do that. Like I said, I can only, state things out of, the love that I basically have, the appreciation, that I have in the amount of caring, that I have as well, let me see. PA said, I watched a family member allow his third world wife starve his children, and they moved before CSD could get involved. Wait, is that Child Protective Services? I get that Child Protective Services is listed differently. Then you said, I actually just got here late. I don't know your backstory. Ms. Callahan said, I'll leave the snow buddies alone. PA said, when the information about the birth rate collapsing comes out, fertile black women will be sought after as a commodity. Charmaine Calla, I mean, like I said, people are going to have to learn when, let me put it to you like this for what PA in a sense stated. Birth rates all around are going low for a lot of people. It's going low for more specifically certain populations than others. And one way or another, black women will be involved. One way or another. I've done stories directly on stuff, dealing with, other things illegally taking place, or people, also attempting to sell their eggs, which some black women do. Other black women opt to get rid of their wombs and they sell those as well. Like I said, there's a lot of things out here. And I'm telling you, just like there was a push for a certain agenda dealing with black women to, take another initiative to not have kids, this thing, they're going to soon enough be pushing an agenda to try to get more black women like, hey, you don't need kids. You don't need to have kids. You're a boss. You're independent. You don't need a man. You don't need to get married. So since you got all of these things and you're completely happy in your life, how about you start selling your eggs? How about you give up your womb? Like I said, a lot of these things are going to start to transpire. And I'm trying to tell people this before these things, before they start the initial push. Trying to tell people these things because people don't understand that fat meat means greasy, and it is what it is. And just like how black women were targeted to have the whole independent boss chick and all this other type of stuff, mentality where they don't need a man, they don't need a man's protection, they can do everything by themselves because they are the men, they are Superman, and all this other is going to move on to another level. And like I said, there's going to be nothing that anybody else can sit up there and do. Because at the end of the day, the only people that's going to be able to stop this is black women. Like I said, I as a man, I can just bring awareness. I can't sit up there and stop it. Because in order for me to have the power to stop it, that would mean that fields of black women would actually have to understand the message, and they would actually have to listen, and not only listen, but also walk in that action and keep that same course without deviating. But that's not where we are. Right? Ms. Callahan said the power of dynamics is unequal in black and white relationships. True. PA said it's actually disgusting watching the unjust Me Too agenda play out. It is what it is. It is what it is. That's how it works. So, like I said before, again, you got the time is up, Me Too movement, and all these other types of things. And again, I want to reiterate that the Me Too movement originally was started by black women. And somehow it got snatched and taken, and it was transferred to somebody else who ain't black. And originally, black women were just trying to showcase an issue of like how uneven it is to be a black woman and working. On top of that, they were also adding women of other color as well. But here we are. Here we are. And like I said, you got a lot of agendas directly out here dealing with this and trying to make sure that women have a unique problem with men, and to make sure that women stay separate of men. So again, by 2045, they've already stated that 45 to 50% of women in the world are going to be single. Good luck. To a lot of women out there, good luck. Because as I stated, women are the greater majority of the population. Men are the other percentage, the lower percentage. So what they're saying is not a lie. It is not a lie. So for a lot of women out there that really think that, they can just go around the world and they're going to sit up there and find a man. Yeah, every woman out here is not going to be able to find a man. Every woman out here is not going to be able to get married. Every woman out here can go out here and get pregnant and have kids. They can certainly do that, but they're not going to be able to go out here and just easily find a boyfriend, a fiance, or nope. You might as well start investing in Japan and allowing them to start creating robots, because that's what it's going to be looking like. You're going to have cyberpunk, where a lot of women are going to have male robot companions, because there's not going to be there's already not a lot of men out here in general. So again, a lot of the whole back and forth discourse where women are like, we're this and we're that, and we have the right to choose, and you guys got to bend it. Good luck. Because like I said, a lot of those women don't pay attention to stats. They want to pay attention to all these other type of stats, but they're not looking at the population stats when it deals with men and women around the world. They're not looking at that. So like I said, it's a lot of delusion directly out here. A lot of delusion. PA said, again, the birth rate collapse is going to change the game. And you lastly stated that you're right, Seji, they're doing that now. It is what it is. Like I said, a lot of the stuff that I talk about, I can't pinpoint and state that I hear a lot of people talking about these things, because when you look at the overall general consensus of the topics online, it's mostly he said, she said, he said, type of thing. People talking about equality, people talking about wars and stuff going around, people talking about disease X. Like I said, the main important issues that are actually impacting communities, especially the black communities, like immigration, the joblessness in a lot of communities, the lack of factories, the lack of monies that are not being given to black Americans who are struggling and who are working paycheck to paycheck. Like, it's even more problems, even going with like education and so on and so on and so on. Nobody's highlighting. Like I said, people got to understand what a lot of these things are. A lot of these things are distractions. So when you go on these podcasts and you continuously see black men and black women talking about the same thing in a circle, nobody's ever coming up with a solution. That's because they don't want to. Because if they come up with a solution, that's the end of the podcast. So the only way that they can milk this and keep this going and keep getting views is by pointing out a problem and never giving a solution. Notice how none of these podcasts give a definitive solution. The black men and black women on these podcasts don't ever come up with a definitive solution and then move on and tackle the next topic and come up with a solution there. Like I said, they got all of these voices, all of these talking heads, all of these mouths directly out here, but they're not really saying nothing. But they can do that because we're at the point in time where nobody critiques or thinks about any of the content that they are ingesting. Literally, nobody does that. Critical thinking is dead. Critical thinking is literally dead. Proof of which, this is why you got a whole bunch of podcasts of everybody dressing, talking, acting, highlighting and saying the exact same things. And it's crazy. Like I said, you got people in Africa talking about the same stuff that Black Americans are talking about. How do we even get that far? How? That shouldn't even be possible. But like I said, this is what happens when you got Western cultural influence that is going over to other countries. And this is what happens when that Western cultural influence is getting ingested by those other countries, by their cultures. This is why before, if you look up a documentary, I keep repeating this for years, over in China, they stated that the worst decision that they ever made was opening the doors to the West, aka opening their doors to America, opening their doors to Europe, because they stated that the moment in time that they did that, that's when they basically lost themselves. That's when they lost their culture. Because if you go over to China right now, you look at the advertisements that they got in fashion, a lot of those models are not even Asian. They're not Asian women. They're not Asian men. But like I said before, I'm just here to just conversate and just point out some stuff. More than likely, a lot of stuff of which you're not going to hear on a continuous basis, or if any at all. So again, this is why I tell people that you need to go out there and severely question why it is that you consume the content that you like to consume. Because realistically, you should be able to look at content, ingest it, and you should start having a lot of questions. You should start, wanting to seek answers and seek, solutions. It shouldn't just be a rinse, wash, repeat where you just turn on, you watch the content, turn it off, go back the next day, turn on the content, and rinse, wash, or repeat. But, like I said, everybody's been programmed, and social media has done a very good job along with the governments, and the proof is directly out there. Proof is out there. PA said, we need to put the Most High God back into our relationships. This Antichrist, Western government is destroying the economy. I mean, it is what it is. It's nothing you can do about it. A lot of people are still looking for a savior, if it's from the sky or whoever. And like I told people before, if you believe in God, God also gave you common sense. So 50% is faith, the other percentage is you. If you're only putting if you're putting 100% directly into God, you are going to fail. Your answers are not going to be answered because you're also supposed to be the driving force, right? God is supposed to, in a sense, take over the parts of which you cannot take over. But you have people that want God to do everything. So if you're having a physical argument or whatnot or whatever, and you just can't seem to win, Jesus, take the wheel. God, please just do this because I can't seem to do it. No, that's a physical matter. You do that. God is going to take care of the stuff that you cannot foresee. God is going to, take care of the obstacles that you don't even know that actually exist, that are being set up to be a blockage directly in front of you. Those are the things that God takes care of. He's not supposed to be taking care of physical matters. That's you, because you're in a physical body. He gave you a physical body so that you can take care of things in the physical plane of existence. That's what you are supposed to do. And again, the problem with religion, in believing in God, a lot of people are lazy. People are lazy in their everyday lives, and they just want to specifically leave it up to God to just fix everything. That's stupid. That's stupid. Everybody in the church that just goes there and prays, be like, oh God, do this and do that. Get me this new car. Get your ass up and go get that car. That ain't God's job. If you commit to the work and you got determination and willpower, you going out there working 1, 2, or 3 jobs and you saving up the money, you're not doing extra expenditures, you're not putting money where you don't need to be putting it. Yeah, then God is going to step in. God ain't going to sit up there and do nothing for you if you don't deserve it. Proof that you deserve something is you actually working for it. You moving in that action. I keep telling people this. Like I said, they don't tell you that in church. Or if they do, it's not repeated. Like I said, all of this stuff is crazy directly out here. There's too many people out here that's lost. It's a lot of people out here that don't want to sit up there and work for shit. And they just want to sit up there and put the gods of their religions to task to do every single thing. It's stupid. It is completely stupid. And I'm going to reiterate, especially the people in church, completely stupid. If that is what you do every single time, you don't deserve nothing. if you're solely trying to have the God that you believe in do everything for you, deserve nothing. Nothing at all. Because you didn't perform any type of actions or even speak it into this existence for you to even have it. Why do you deserve something that somebody else just basically gave to you? You're not going to appreciate it. Guy going to sit up there and give you a car. What you going to do? Crash that car? You're going to loan that car out. It's going to sit up there and get stolen. You're not going to sit up there and take care of it. You're not going to do the upkeep. You're not going to pay the bills on it. Because all of the things I mentioned, what's going to happen? Oh, God is going to see a way. I can barely afford to sit up there and do my lights and my rent, but I'm going to sit up there and ask for God to bless me with a car, even though I can barely afford to live, but that car payment is going to be $1,200 to $1,500 a month. How are you going to afford that? God is going to give you the money that you need for the lifespan of that car? Nah. You need to be sitting up there working. You need to put forth some due diligence. You need to be the same leader that you expect God to be. You need to be that in your own life. But like I said, people ain't ready for that conversation. People sit up there and say, oh, the moment in time that you put any type of faith and belief in yourself and away from God, that's demonic. That's satanic. What? You having belief and faith in yourself is demonic and satanic. So the only person that you can love, believe, and have faith in is God. Okay. All right. That's crazy. That is crazy. Like I said, let me just reiterate what I stated before. Irregardless of how my situation is going on YouTube, the main reason that I'm able to basically speak and I got the platform that I have is due to the effect of me having, talking directly to God, to the universe. And not only just that, but I'm talking to myself in the mirror every single day, boosting myself up, irregardless of how it is that I feel. No matter what it is that's going in my life, I'm telling myself that I love myself. I believe in myself. I have faith, and I'm going to be successful in whatever it is that I am going to sit up there and do. And I'm not depending on nobody else to sit up there and do it. And I walk directly in those actions. And because I did that, that's why I have platforms. That's why I'm able to speak and say the things that I'm able to sit up there and say and at least reach some people. That's why I'm able to do it. Because not only did I sit up there and pray or wish it or will it into existence, I sat up there and walked in those actions. I committed directly to those actions. Like I said, that is proof of work. I did the things that I was supposed to do in order to get what it is that I asked for, what it is that I wanted. A lot of people are too lazy. A lot of people are too lazy. PA said, letting the Most High guide you is a beautiful thing. Said, hey, prayer works. I was shown in a vision about a person who wanted to use me months before that person tried to set me up. Like I said, that's great. But I'm also going to reiterate this again. You got the message. So then what? You had to also take the initial action to stop that said thing from taking place, correct? So it wasn't 100% God. You got 50. God gave you common sense in your physical body. So use your physical body and the common sense that God gave you in order to determine, okay, this is what you basically told me. This is the message. Now let me walk in an action so that I don't have to deal with this person, so that I can get this person directly out of my life. You did that other 50. Jacob said, what's up, Seji and family? Faith without work is dead. If you believe, you will do what is necessary. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. PA said, Seji, the spiritual system of what? What is that? Shiat Neter isn't a charlatan religion, and most people don't know about it. Okay. My pronunciation is probably completely wrong on that. I'm just going to sit up there and honestly state I don't even know what it is that you're referring to. You're obviously more knowledgeable on that, so I have no argument directly about that. I can only argue about the stuff that I have basically seen, witnessed, and experienced myself. I've gone to private schools. I've been taught by a multitude of pastors. I've also had family. I got an uncle that is in the church that is also a preacher as well. You also got the evangelists directly out there, and many others like TD Jakes. So I can only sit up there and talk about the things that I know and I've seen and I've also experienced myself. That's it. That's all what I'm going off of. That's it. PA said the Most High speaks to us through our intuitive mind. And you also said at the bottom, you're right. A lot of people don't practice spiritual discipline. All I'm saying is, people, if you really feel that you deserve something and that God needs to give you something, you need to be working for it. I've never seen in my life as a child where I basically told God, like, yo, I deserve this. I need this. Okay, so give it to me. Yeah, that's a stupid way of thinking. And let me let you know, I've never received any of those toys that I wanted. In order for me to get the things that I wanted, I had to actually get my hands dirty. I had to do the work. I had to have, discipline, right? I had to make sure that I did not falter, right? I had to keep the course. Like I said. But anyways, that was pretty much it. If anybody would like to make some last comments about something, you are more than free to do any of those things if you would like, before I just so happen to get up off of here, because I know sometimes it might end the stream and then people want to just so happen to mention some things. So I'm gonna let it move for about a good minute, so that people can maybe mention some things that they wanted to state during certain topics. Either if it's the video dealing with the woman that was stating that she is completely perfect. Let me go back to her.
By a matchmaker.
So if it's her that you would like to make a comment about, remember the title of this video was like, I'm the leader. I'm a leader that wants a leader because I don't want to lead all the time, right? She's the perfect woman. She's a 10 out of 10, guys. 10 out of 10. And she got rejected by a matchmaker, right? Or if it's the video specifically dealing with tipping and how tipping is quite ridiculous and how it's a culture in the United States. But when you move away from the United States and you travel, you see that the culture is vastly different, and it makes you think how it is that you're taught and how it is that we might all have been taught wrong when it deals with a certain type of culture that is in the United States. Or going directly back to the third topic, which was this one, which is the Asian woman who lives in Atlanta who has a boyfriend, and she decided to cook this one dish. She had a playlist, and she also cooked the food that you see directly in front of you. Let me see if I can click that real quick. She made this plate here, and you had, black women, which I showcased to y'all, who came directly underneath the comment section wanting to start to talk greasy and all this other type of stuff and negatively directly towards her. So just in case you want to happen to make a mention, you can do that. Pink said, hit that like button. Bars, straight bars. PA said, how do you feel about the surge at the border? I talked about this before. I can't speak for any other, nationality directly out there. I can only speak for those who are in the Black community. And the main thing that I've stated before, oops, I put the wrong thing. I put a VLC video source. I was supposed to do that. The main thing I can say is that it is a negative, like how I mentioned earlier. It's a negative when it deals with the Black community, because at the end of the day, it's going to have a negative effect. One of those effects that I tried to make sure to highlight, I'm trying to actually find it, was the fact that you got the United States government giving migrants $9K a month for housing, right? So let me just highlight that, right? Let me just put that directly up there, right? So we got this one right here, right? Dealing with what it is that you stated, right? You got governor in one United States city asking the residents there, like, hey, can you open your doors to basically house migrants because they need shelters? Now, again, the United States government should be the ones that should be providing that type of resource. It should not be up to ordinary American citizens to open up their doors to make sure that somebody else has a place to live, eat, and everything else, right? So again, these are problems that will heavily affect the Black community before they affect everybody else. And everybody else is not going to care because they're going to look at this, oh, it's just the Black community. They can sit up there and figure that out. It has nothing to do with me, right? And everybody's like, I'll just deal with it when it gets to my doorstep. And people don't understand. Like I said, people in America are allowing, and they're just waiting. They don't care when it happens to somebody else. They only care when it specifically happens to them and it's affecting their family and their money and everything like that. For Illinois to provide migrants with $9K in assistance for housing is ridiculous. And not only are they giving them the $9K, but they're also giving them furnishings. So that's not even a part of the $9K. That's completely separate. So not only are they giving them $9K for temporary or full housing, they're also going to furnish the house as well. Like I said, that's crazy to me. You got people that work every single day that's paycheck to paycheck. I did a video not too long ago where it was a woman, it was a Caucasian woman in New York, and she was saying how you got people who got 9 to 5s or whatnot or whatever. They're living in shelters. They're living in shelters because they can't afford to live in the apartment in New York because the prices are crazy. They're outrageous. And the only way for a lot of people to actually afford it by themselves, they better have Section 8. If you're a man, you're not getting Section 8. There's no way, no how that you're getting Section 8, even if you got a child. And if you do got Section 8, that is a rarity. That is not highlighting the problem that is taking place. Now, if you're a woman with children and you get on that ticket, yeah, you're going to sit up there and get Section 8. It's going to happen. It's going to work out for you. And then on top of that, if you're a woman and you got kids and you got a husband or you got a boyfriend, chances are you're not getting Section 8 because they're not going to give you money if you got a whole another able-bodied individual there. They're like, okay, well, you're not working, you don't got a man, you're a single parent, you're raising kids, no problem. We're going to sit up there and feed into that and keep that going. Oh, wait a minute, you got a responsible man, you got somebody that's a father, somebody that wants to be in a child's life, and you want Section 8? No, you're not struggling. That man can sit up there and handle it. That's how the system works. That is how the system works. This is why I brought y'all the video before where a woman was complaining about her losing her Section 8 because she had a guy. Like I said before, people don't understand how the system works. The system works specifically how it is supposed to work. It is supposed to make sure that women stay separate from men. Even if it is a good guy that wants to be in that woman's life, in that child's life, if you want that money per month, along with that assistance for those kids, and you don't have to do nothing, you better make sure that a man is not there. If he is there, you better make sure that we don't see him or don't hear nothing of him. Like I said, that's how that works. But again, going back to the whole migrant situation, it's crazy. It's nonsensical. It shouldn't be happening. Everybody involved should be jailed or put directly in prison. And people better make sure to do research and vote better. That's the only thing that I can sit up there and tell people. Because at the end of the day, again, this is going to affect the Black community more than any other community first. And Black people got a problem with joblessness. We got a problem with college. We got a problem with the education system. We got a problem with health. We got a problem with, the lack of factory. And we got a problem with the lack of trade schools directly in here versus every other community. We got problems all over the place. Problems all over the place. And this is not helping. It's going to exacerbate those issues because those migrants are going to receive the help and the things necessary that they need to survive over the Black residents that have been there for generations. And again, it's ridiculous. Like I said, how can America allow and bring in other people when America can't even take care of the people that they already got? How is it possible that America talks about we're broke, we're in debt, we don't got money, but yet they magically find money to fund wars and to fund migrants coming here? But you can't find that same money to sit up there and help out American citizens get a house or an apartment? Really? You can't facilitate that money so they can get better health care? All right. It's crazy. PA said, I live in Portland, Oregon, which was made a sanctuary city way back in 1997, and that sanctuary status has destroyed the city. Drugs, crime, and homelessness is everywhere. Mainly Caucasian people were being thrown out of jobs and homes, and many white people here are now on drugs. It's tragic, but the illegal aliens are taken care of as a family unit. Their men are allowed to live on Section 8 with their families. It's actually evil. FBA Ancestry built all of this wealth. Like I said, it is what it is. I'm just going to reiterate one more time the stuff that I've talked about before, which had to do with the money. oops, I got to go to create. That was in a sense, quote unquote, lost, right? So let me just highlight that real quick. Let me see if I can find the image, because it's like I said before, it's a very interesting thing when you realize the fact that the United States government has lost trillions of dollars. Like, I mean, trillions of dollars. And you mean to tell me that y'all can lose all of this money and misplace it, and then people around the country want to get mad at Black people trying to ask for reparations? Like, how do we even get there? But nobody's mad about the trillions of dollars that are being lost. Like I said, a lot of this stuff is complete nonsense. Just to be honest, it's a lot of nonsense, and a lot of people are choosy when it deals with certain types of things. Like I said, it's ridiculous. It is purely ridiculous. I'm trying to see. Okay, there we go. Because I was trying to find it real quick. It just took me a minute. So yeah, let me just put that directly up there. This is what I'm talking about. Again, I gotta keep highlighting this because, again, this is a problem. Unemployment fraud back during COVID hit 100 to 135 billion. Underneath that, to the left side, debris of the F-35 fighter jet worth about 100 million. It took 100 million in order to make that plane, right? But then underneath the plane, it says that the plane cost 100 million to make, but the program itself, for the lifetime of that F-35 jet program, the lifetime is worth 1.7 trillion, right? So 100 million to make it, but the whole lifetime of the plan of the plane is 1.7 trillion dollars. Then you got the Pentagon's 35 trillion accounting black hole. Then you got the fentanyl and the United States opioid epidemic, which has cost the United States $1.5 trillion back in 2020. So that's trillions of dollars right there. And then I'm not even listing all of the money, all of the hundreds of billions, if not more, that we've given directly towards wars and supporting other people per month or per year or whatever it is. Like I said, it's ridiculous. And then people always sit up there and state, oh, we don't have money for reparations. Where are we going to sit up there and find that? Even if we did have the money, it's this, that, and the third. But like I said, they're real easy to sit up there and find the money for everybody else, though. They will sit up there and give you that money, give other people all of this money, but yet they have a problem trying to sit up there and get the money to Black people, of which they deserve for the things that they've had to go through and suffer with in this country. Like I said, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And again, the only thing I can hope is that people will do better research, or they'll decide to hold their vote. And a variety of other things. Like I said, if people want to talk about boycotting Starbucks, start boycotting when it deals with voting. Hold your vote. When you can actually find a candidate that is beneficial all around when it deals with like jobs, money, housing and your safety and everything like that, when you can actually find a candidate that is pretty well-rounded and they mean exactly what it is that they state, then do it. But also, speaking on finding a candidate that means exactly what they're going to state, what I also mean by that is when it deals with a lot of politicians, the only way to talk politics is by talking money. So if you want real things done, you better be able to break the politician off so that you can get those things done. If not, then they're just going to be talking just to talk, and they're going to make sure to facilitate all the ideals and the things that other people want because, hey, you done set up and put money directly in their pocket. Hey, you done pay for or sponsored their campaign and all these other types of things. Like I said, people got to learn how to play ball. And I didn't know, I might have to do a video on that where you said the men are allowed to be on Section 8 with their families. I've never heard of that in the United States. Especially, I'll say specifically when it deals with like Black people, that was not really a thing like that. It's usually the women are completely separate from the men in order for them to get that. PA said Caucasians are out of here because they won't give FBA ancestry reparations. Facts. Like I said, it is what it is. If people basically try to coexist and try to fix a lot of wrongs directly out here, things will work out the way that they should work. The moment in time that people decide that they don't want to do the right things, that they don't want to underwrite those wrongs or what have you, here we are. Here we are. So, like I said, I don't know what to tell people. Jacob says, Zechariah 11:5. They don't give a damn about us. We're going to have to come together to get ahead, and that's facts. That is facts. Let me just put that up there. That's facts. There's no lies directly up there. No lies at all. But much love, respect and appreciation to all of those who have been in attendance for about the full hour and 34 minutes. Again, I like the feedback. I love doing these live streams, being able to talk directly with you guys, getting your input and your insight directly on these videos and these topics. Like I said before, I plan on doing a lot more of these on top of also, pushing videos, directly, out there as well. But, again, hit the like button. If you want to support the channel, you can do that by way of Cash App, PayPal, and or Patreon. Again, shout out to the Patrons and shout out to anybody who has donated to the channel as well. Again, much love, respect, and appreciation. Love, respect you guys as well. Make sure to focus on yourselves, get your mental straight, and, have fun, get prepared for the next day, and, purge the negativity directly out of your system so that, everything can go right with your energy. So I will see you guys on the next live stream.